champion. Might be an athlete that would sit out and wait a little bit, let that bar go up. Louis Gash as well. He's that silver medalist from the World Indoor Championships. But Mutaz Barshin, the defending champion, you can see he's got no world ranking next to his name. Pretty limited competition so far in 2022. He's done 2 meters and 30 to come second at the Doha Diamond League, just at 2 meters and 15. Other than that, as Jenny said, he took that home title in 2019. He hadn't had many opportunities. Kobilski there from Poland, a decent season, just stretching out. You can see from that graphic there in the left-hand corner, the bar will start at 2 meters and 17, and go to 21, 25, 28, and finally 2 meters and 30. These athletes will have to balance focusing on their own heights and their own competition, and keeping half an eye on the pool next to them to see whether they have to keep jumping. I'm sure their coaches will help with that. There is Woo Sang-hop of South Korea. He was ranked 30th last summer as we made our way towards the Tokyo Olympic Games and came 4th. It was the highest ever Olympic position for South Korea at age just 25, so they were super excited about this young man, and he just went that extra step in Belgrade back in March to take that title. And when he jumps, he looks so full of joy. He's someone I really enjoy watching competing.
Yeah, and he looks like he enjoys it as well. It was such a phenomenal competition, wasn't it, in Belgrade? And not just for him to win a medal, but to him to be top of the podium. Such a special moment for him. But you did mention, Hannah, you know, it's interesting, isn't it? You can have that starting height of 217, and it's really about preserving your energy. So it's not just about, you know, trying to clear bar heights. It's the strategy and trying to make your way towards that 230 or the top 12, conserving as much energy as you can. It will be quite interesting that they're going on side by side, parallel to each other, so you can have a quick glance. I wonder whether we've actually got the start time at 10:10 local time for both of them. So theoretically, they should be jumping at the same time. Round the first attempt at the same time, group A and B, second attempt at the same time. So it's not like the weight. We'll know as soon as this big competition's concluded who's in the final 12.
That's a good point, Jem, with the two pools running side by side. When that bar moves up to 225, you should be able to look at your group and say, all right, there's 7 of us. Look across and say, oh, there's 8 of them. Yeah, I've got to stay in this height. And then you might go up to that 2 meters and 28 and suddenly go, alrighty, there's only 8 of us. Okay, I'm fine. I can relax. So it obviously you can't do that in something like the hammer throw. We haven't got 2 hammer cages. To do that, you'd have to have one of them on the outdoor facility here. And that's not really one your every athlete's getting a chance to compete here in this new stadium.
Familiar names, those are the quad medals.
Just strolling around the high jump area here, looking very relaxed. His idol, Sweden's Stefan Holm,
in this men's high jump qualification.
Such a dominant high jumper, both bathed in the 90s and early 2000s. What a good idol.
Yeah, exactly. And he was really small in comparison to high jumpers. So what he could actually jump compared to, you know, his natural height versus the bar height was absolutely incredible. He used to look like he had springs in his shoes, didn't he? And really nice that that's his idol.
This is a great look at Ewell Reith of Australia. Mexico. He was their national champion this year. Brazil, and then some of his friends, I think friends and family, started a GoFundMe campaign to get Reith over to Europe to get some more experience.
Some of the names, including
he didn't have the ability to get over there. He was selected for an Australian under-23 squad to go and do that tour of Europe and gather experience. Some great clips of Reith of Australia saying thank you to everyone. I think they raised nearly $10,000 to get him over to get that experience, and he's here competing at the very biggest stage. He's not jumping till about 6th place, I think, in this Group A. We will get underway with Woo Sang-hop. I'd have expected him to skip this opening height. 217 would be a lot lower than his 2 meters and 36 he did indoors. But the final is all the way on Monday afternoon. Plenty of recovery time. So not really any risk as such in coming in at an early height here. So Woo, fantastically high quality athlete to start you off. He's wearing odd shoes as well. from Great Britain, I feel was one of the first athletes I saw wearing odd shoes. Colored shoes there, neither of which go with those orange shorts of South Korea, but that looks smooth. And he looked like he liked that as well. Woo, first time clearance over 2 meters and 17. These athletes say that every surface is different, every arena is different. Jumping 220 somewhere else in the world doesn't mean you can jump 220 here without getting your eye in. So perhaps Wu deciding to come in here early to get as much experience on this surface as he can as he looks towards the final. Louis Gash next. See that world ranking of 13? Quick reflect that silver medal he picked up at the World Indoor Championships. It was perhaps a surprise silver medal there for Switzerland, a very welcome one. National record holder from the Lausanne Diamond League last year, 33, so I was going to say should be well capable of 2 meters and 17, but as we indicated it, we alluded to in the men's hammocker, a lot of these athletes coming here to Eugene, they will have gone away and trained before this, they will have built some extra kind of training and strength and speed, and sometimes you've got to make adjustments to try and convert that into a mark in your competition.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows that you can't take anything for granted here on the world stage. So he'll have a second attempt at that one. As we just saw Norbert Kablinski of Poland. So that's 229 indoors. Oof. And again, Hannah, we talked about the surface. You might have these heights, but it's really interesting to actually feel the speed of the surface, feel what it's like, especially if this is the first time you're going to have an opportunity to compete here. Looks like we might be missing Magic Guzzle of Syria down there, and jumping straight to Django Lovett of Canada. He is the joint captain of the Canadian team here in Eugene. And what a good start from the joint captain. Here's the Commonwealth bronze medalist from 2018. He came 12th in Tokyo, and he's really getting better with every season. Really good string of results for Lovett. Diamond League win in Birmingham, 3rd in Doha, just 8th in the Rome Diamond League though, a bit more recently. To see whether Django Lovett has managed to maintain that early season form here into the World Championships. Next up, that was 2 meters and 17 is Real, just a little bit out of sorts there. It looks like his run-up wasn't absolutely perfect. Well, perhaps not meaning to be too negative, but nowhere near perfect. Reith will have to go make some adjustments there, perhaps a few nerves for the young Australian. Well, you talked about experience, Hannah, and that's what you came to Europe for. It's here at the World Championships for exactly the same reason. So just about to see the athlete from Belarus, Thomas Karmoy. Again, this is all of these men are going at 2 meters 17. And he made that look easy, but going back to Lovett, he had a huge amount between himself and the bar, didn't he?
He really did. Django Lovett. Wu Sang-hok, he looked pretty easy as well, but the rest of these athletes just finding their feet here. Tomohiro Shino, he'll be up next for Japan. Great to hear that news of Tokyo being awarded the World Championships in 2025. That news coming overnight. World Athletics deciding some of those upcoming championships. Shino looking good there over 2 meters and 17. As he should as a 2 meter 30 competitor in this outdoor season. Not miles over it. Shino getting the job done. And Hawa will be up next from Malaysia. National record holder with his best there of 2 meters and 30. And Hawa just going to make a few adjustments there. It looked like he's capable of this 2 meters and 17. Just not quite finding his groove on his first attempt.
Saw him leg, his calf muscle. So he'll have to have a second attempt at the 2:17. Andrei Prosenko then from the Ukraine. He's got a remarkable personal best, 2 meters 40. That was somewhat 8 years ago now. Became the 12th person in history to clear 240. Absolutely ludicrous height to be able to high jump, but here he goes. 2 meters 30 indoors this year. He looked every inch capable of that sort of height from what we saw there at 2 meters 17.
That was a nice jump there from Prosenko. Knows what he's doing. He's made global finals before, 4th place back in Rio. Prosenko, he's in his best sort of form. It's great to see him getting involved in those medals tomorrow. Leoy of Argentina will be up next. Good first time clearance there. We saw Joaquin Gomez in the men's hammer not looking quite so comfortable for Argentina earlier, just probably about an hour ago, but Leoy there making easy work of the 2 meters and 17 opening height.
And how cool is Barshim? Did you see him there, Hannah? We just saw him in the peripheral there with his cap on, his dark shades. He's just observing, isn't he? Just observing. I wonder whether he's going to come in at 2:17. It doesn't look like it. He still had all his kit on. So Marco Fasanotti of Italy. He's decided to come in at this opening height as well. Just see the ribbons there on the upright. Just shows very minimal wind. Much wind here in the stadium at all. Almost perfect conditions. He struggled with that, didn't he? Saw the obviously the obvious bar get knocked off, but we saw the official with the red flag indicating a foul. So we've had what, 3 people so far not gone clear at this opening night.
Next up, home athletes. Shelby McEwen, USA champion here a few weeks ago, and he's one of 2 athletes that have gone over 2 meters, well, exceeded 2 meters and 30. We've got a whole load of men on 2 meters and 30 in this 2022 season. McEwen, 2 meters 33. It's fantastic jumping. Only him, Woo Sang Hop, exceeded that 2 meters and 30. McEwen, first attempt at 2:17, very nice. Carrying on where he left off, winning that USA title back here in Hayward Field, Eugene. Rank number 2. McEwen. To be all business here, see if he can get himself into the final. Kubilski here, shoes off, bag on his shoulder. I think that is an injured Polish athlete we're seeing there, Norbert Kubilski, walking away, having to leave this Group A to it.
Well, if we wondered whether our Olympic champion was going to go at this first height, yes he is. Oh, goodness. He just, you've run out of words, even as commentators, to try to explain how amazing he is.
So Group B has been going on at the same time. I wonder if they saw that great clearance from Mutazaz Barshim there, sailing over 2 meters and 17. This is Javon Harrison. It's a very unique double of doing the long jump and the high jump in Tokyo, but sailing over 2:17. Gianmarco Tamberi has been in action in Group B as well. This is his first attempt at 2 meters and 17. Competed indoors on a whim. Said he did a training camp in Mauritius and he felt good, so he went all the way to Belgrade, picked up a bronze medal. And then he's struggled to quite hit the form that saw him take that Olympic gold medal with Barshim back in Tokyo. But a good start there from Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi.
So back to Pool A. Here we go, this is Louis Gash. This is quite surprising that he's having to go over 2:17 for his second attempt. To see him making some final preparations. Just making sure that his shoe, to see the Velcro strap on there, that's tight enough. Just a little bit of a nervous moment for him. Has got a personal best of 2 meters probably a height that he can clear, even with uniform on normally. Here we go, second attempt for Louis Gash. Oh. And sometimes when you see an athlete make it look so easy on a subsequent attempt, you actually think, okay, why was it so difficult on the first? Maybe he's just got his head on now, he's focused. He looked totally prepared for that one, didn't he? And there we go. Clearance for him. Louis Gash can go on to the next height of 221.
I think mixing nerves, anticipation, new stadium, all that. It's pretty early in the morning as well, 10 past 10 local time. Trying to get yourself in gear to perform, even at a height that's quite low, quite a bit lower than what you've managed, can be hard. But Johan Reith looked really out of sorts in his first attempt at 2 meters and 17. You can see there him playing with the tape down on the floor. He's put that tape down to indicate exactly where they want to start their run up. Big adjustment there from Reith. Let's hope it pays off for the Australian. That was better. That was a lot better from Johan Reith, 2022 Australian national champion, but he has now put the pressure on himself. He's got just one last attempt at this height. Disappointing overnight to read that Brandon Stark, Australia's other Australian champion, is withdrawn from this competition to focus on the Commonwealth Games, leaving Johan Reith out there to fly the flag for Australia. Joel Baden over in the other heat, but in the other pool, but a big blow to the competition, losing Brandon Stark. Randhawa, his second attempt at 2 meters and 17. Malaysian record holder. Bouncing in, again close there. He almost had his hips up over the bar, but just couldn't get upper legs and lower legs to kind of stay away from that bar and just taking it off. So it will be one final attempt for Malaysia.
So Group B, we can see all the men who have cleared that on the first attempt. I think actually everyone in Group B has cleared the opening height, so that's game on. Everyone is now moving to 221.
Oh, wow, that, you know, if you were trying to pitch two beds against each other. Group B doing much better. Fascinotti here, second attempt at 2 meters and 17. And that looks much better for Marco Fascinotti. He was Italy's #1 high jumper for a number of years. Certain Gianmarco Tamberi came along. Fascinotti does a great job of just quietly getting on with his business. Has tremendous results on the circuit. A couple of third places at the European Team Championships. It's an event we have over in Europe where you accumulate points with your country, you compete as a team all together to try for that sort of crown of the best in Europe. So Fascinotti's played a key part in that team competition for Italy over the years. So one last attempt for Reith. You can see hands on head, giving himself a bit of a talking to. Johan Reith, love to get over this 2 meters and 17. He's done 2 meters and 22 this season. 2 meters and 25 is lifetime best. But we're having issues here with 2 meters and 17. Johan Reith. Can he keep his World Championship campaign going? Yes, he can! Brilliant third time clearance for Johan Reith. He said he's done that kind of tour over in Europe, funded by a GoFundMe page. And anyone that's contributed to that campaign to raise money for Reith to go and gain experience in Europe, I think it is all paid off there. Under pressure, managing a third time clearance. And Nurad Randhawa, how much would the Malaysian love to repeat what he's just seen the Australian achieve? Randhawa channeling all his experience, all his training, all his focus into this third attempt at 2 meters and 17. Oh, agony. That will be the end of the competition for Nuraj Randhawa, the second man to 6 of this competition. Norbert Kobylski of Poland has officially retired. That's come up on our system. Nuraj Randhawa will leave this opening round of the men's high jump with no mark, which is agonising for our field eventers. Look at that, very nearly over, really high, just grazing the bar. But, what a shame there for Malaysia's Nuraj Randhawa. I'm sure he'll be bitterly disappointed in the coming hours. But let's hope that he can sit back and enjoy the rest of the action as it unfolds. Might not enjoy watching the men's high jump continue, something he would love to be a part of, but as we move through the week, such a range of performances to take inspiration from, and hopefully Randhawa can sit back and overall be inspired by being a part of this World Championships.
Well, 26 of the 28 men who started this competition do move on to the next height. So 26 managed to negotiate that 2 meters 17 bar. And we are going up significantly now. We're going up in 4 centimeters to the next bar, 221. Just see some more action of the mixed 4x400 meter relay. Jamaica, they should feature. Great Britain, I think they were 4th last time. The Spanish team should be good. They've got some good competitors. They go in the second heat.
So this is Group B. Hamish Kerr on your screen at the moment. He'll be opening the jumping at 2 meters and 21. Their bar's gone up. Shared a bronze medal with Gianmarco Temberi at those World Indoor Championships. Self-nicknamed the Flying Kiwi, which I quite like. Yeah. Nice nickname to give yourself. I'm sure it's come from somewhere. I'm sure it's not totally self-created. It was the first Kiwi global high jump medal that he picked up in Belgrade. A really good indoor campaign. Gives him the number 6 ranking in the world this year. Hamish Kerr, keen to keep this clean scorecard going. Everybody over that 2 meters and 17 for the first time in Group B. Getting the better of Group A. Some bragging rights. Oh, that looked good from Hamish Kerr. He just holds his head. So nearly a first-time clearance at 2 meters and 21, but we'll have to try again.
Interesting watching him there. He just dropped his leg, didn't he, as he went into the bar, and then got his body over. He managed to arc all the way over, but it was that leg that he dropped on the takeoff that knocked the bar off. Siobhan Harrison, saw him clear 2:17. Such a phenomenal athlete, you know, being able to finish 5th in the long jump and 7th in the high jump in the same Olympic Games last year in Tokyo. He's another one who's got springs in his feet. Quite an unusual takeoff approach with those arms, but it works for him. And the American crowd are cheering him on. And made that look really easy, didn't they? 2:21, no problem there for Harrison.
I think competing over 2 different disciplines is pretty special. But like you said, Jenny, picking up 5th place in the long jump, 7th in the high jump. It wasn't just there taking part.
No.
He was a real competitor across 2 events which require springs, but they're still pretty different. Donald Thomas of Bahamas started life as a basketball player until someone saw him have a go at high jump and said, hang on, you could be pretty good at this. And he was as well. He won the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne back in 2006. Moved on to take a world title as well. He's not quite hit the 2 meters and 37 personal best that he's got for a few years, but he did jump 2:25 season's best at national championships, Donald Thomas, so he could be rounding into form at just the right time. Doris Chuk, Ukraine. Jenny Meadows said a few minutes ago, second of the strong Ukrainians in this. Protsenko over on the other bed. Sort of the better Ukrainian, if you like, on paper, but paper counts for nothing when you get to World Championships. Doris Chuk won the silver medal at the European Under-18s and the European Under-20 Championships. Pretty good there at 2:17 and 2:21. Darachuk will move on to 2 meters and 25. There's a lot of athletes down there. They've got to get over this 2 meters and 21 before the officials will raise that bar. Gianmarco Tamberi, Olympic champion from Tokyo. Hasn't got his trademark half beard. Saving that perhaps for the final on Monday. Who knows what we could see on Monday? Bleaches his hair, shaves half his head. If he makes it, I'm sure there'll be some fashion statement for Gianmarco Tamberi. Oh, he looks as relieved as the rest of us, just tickling that bar as he came over. But it will be a valid jump for Gianmarco Tamberi. So, first look at Pavel Fidek. This is his first throw. Said towards the top of the programme, he has 4 back-to-back hammer throw titles from the World Championships. Nearing in on a decade of domination in this event. But he cannot match his compatriot Wojciech Nowicki with a first-time automatic qualification into the final. Pavel Fidek will have to throw again. His hammer there falling short of the 77 and 50 automatic qualification mark. But you can see that red bib there indicating that he is defending champion. But Fidek, Jenny, we had a funny moment back at the start of May. We were expecting to comment on Pavel Fidek at the Continental Tour, Gold Tour in Nairobi, but Fidek actually missed his connecting flight in Frankfurt and didn't make it. What a shame.
Yeah, I think he was asleep, wasn't he? Tough being a professional athlete, but some good scenes here of the spectators coming into the stadium. Haywood Field, like we say, such an historic venue for track and field. And a lot of people, not just from the US, a lot of people have travelled from all around the world to be here. Oh, there's Ha, he's meeting his parents, I think, to actually say, hey Mum, hey Dad, I made it.
Great shot there of Daniel Hart, relaxing with his parents, celebrating topping that qualification group. But we're back to Group A in the men's high jump. This is Woo Sang-hok's first attempt at 2 meters and 21. This group just getting up to his height, and that looked good. Woo miles over 2 meters and 21. I love, he shares the energy of the crowd, and he just looks really chuffed with himself and chuffed with the performance there. So great first time clearance from Woo. The rest of Group A will move on to that 2 meters and 21.
And I think, Hannah, we know the World Champs have started now. When we're actually going between events and we're seeing the qualification rounds, we're going between the men's hammer, we're watching these qualifications and the men's high jump. It's getting exciting now, isn't it? We know the 4x4 mixed relay are warming up as well. Events are definitely underway now.
They are. I love it when the action's going back and forth between different disciplines, between different qualification groups. Putsenko here of Ukraine, first attempt at 2 meters and 21. Oh, that was just getting that, much like Tamberi, just grazing that bar as he got over it, but he did it. Putsenko, you don't need any more than 202 meters and 21 centimeters to get a 0 next to your name. Putsenko clearing that bar. Django Lovett of Canada got the first time clearance at 2 meters and 21. Saw failures from Thomas Carmoy of Belgium, Tomohiro Shino of Japan. This is Carlos Leyoy of Argentina. Looked great at 2:17. The timing wasn't quite right. Leyoy there not quite managing to recreate his form for the 2 meters and 17, but it wasn't too far off.
It wasn't. It just looked like he dropped a little bit of momentum, so he was actually having to try and regain momentum. He was really having to push off that foot to try and get the height. It shouldn't really be height, that's the problem at this sort of distance. It should be almost more the run-up and the navigating, you know, your body over the arch of the bar. But yeah, he didn't even have the height, did he? So really good that he can speak to his coach there, get a bit of instant feedback, video analysis. There's Marco Pizzinotti of Italy. He goes now. 2 attempts to get over that 2:17 bar. This is his first attempt at 2:21. Really nice measured run up there. so much faith he was going to get over that bar, but it wasn't to be for Fossatini. So just as he had to take 2 attempts at 2:17, he'll have to take another attempt at 2:21.
See the frustration there. Very capable of this height, but as we've been saying, it's one thing to be capable of it, it's another to do it. Shelby McEwen, American champion here on his home track. He looked great at 2 meters and 17, soared over that. Another athlete with odd shoes. Bruce Van Hock with odd shoes as well, so perhaps a bit of perhaps that's a thing down there. Some of the shoes that we created here for this World Championships. Shelby McEwen spending his time here as he gets ready for his first attempt at 2 meters and 21. Marsheen just chilling out behind, having a stretch, getting himself ready. He's jumping next, I think. Looks like he should be a bit more ready if he's going to attempt 2:21 next. McEwen now, nice clearance.
And this is what we're going to see, Hannah. As some of the bar heights move up, people are actually going to look more comfortable, aren't they? We're going to get better clearances. It's actually quite tough sometimes going, attempting a bar that you know you should be able to clear absolutely no problem. So, yeah, Shelby McEwen there looked so much better. He looked good at 2:17, but he looked even more comfortable as the bar has been raised now to 2:21. So here we go. I'm presuming Barshim decided to pass it that one. And we've got Tobias Hoyt there of Germany. Barshim was okay, 2:17, it felt great. It was a huge clearance, wasn't it? And Hoyt from Germany, really successful clearance for him at 2:21 also.
Good clearance there from Hoyt. Yeah, and it has come up as a pass from Barshim, so he did look so good at 2 meters and 17, clearly just going, I'm all right, I've got my eye in, I can sit down and chill out. Louis Gash gonna have to be second attempt at 2 meters and 21 for the World Indoor bronze medalist. Don't want to be necessarily doing any more jumps than you've got to if you've got your eye on a high finish in the final. But that being said as well, you can learn lessons here in the qualification, learn the arena, learn exactly what shape your body's in here in the middle of July. Gosh, second attempt at 2 meters and 21, that's better, that's more like it. Much with the 2 meters 17 height, Gash is taking a couple of jumps to get into his groove.
Well, North Carolina in the house, we can see. Oh, that was a false start, or a faulty start at least, Hannah. Great that we've got some kids' activities going on. And they bring them in the stadium young these days. Yeah. So, Donald Thomas, Group B. Leisurely approach there, isn't it? But there he goes. Thumbs up. Why was it so complicated? Made it look really, really easy. Such a fascinating story. I know you've already mentioned it, Hannah. He took up the sport 2006. He became the world champion in 2007. Clinging on there, that was his last attempt at 2:21 and made it.
Great jump in there. So Carbin on his third and final attempt here at 2 meters and 21. Carbin's got to do everything he can to keep his dreams alive here. He jumped 2 meters and 30, but all the way back in April. So can Darius Carbin recreate some of that form? No, he can't. Agonising third time failure for Darius Carbin. And that will be the end of his World Championships. We've talked about some of the athletes soaking up the atmosphere through the week to prepare for their competitions. And Dan O'Brien is down there in the stadium for us, and he's managed to catch up with one Vashti Cunningham. She will compete in the women's high jump later on in the week, but she's down trackside with her coach.
Well, I'm here with 2016 World Indoor Champion Vashti Cunningham. Vashti, just taking in the sights this morning. What are your impressions of the World Championship so far?
Honestly, this is my first time coming to the stadium, and it just made me smile when I walked in because to see all the people and all the booths set up and just the energy here is really, really good. So I'm excited to jump.
You're rooting on your teammates. It's got to be exciting to see all these U.S. fans, right?
Oh man, it's amazing to finally be back at home, and you know, just to be in the comfort of Hayward Field in Eugene and just look around and see so many familiar faces.
And I'll go over here to Randall. You know, she's seen 2 world championships now in the United States, but you and I, it's been a long time since the world championships, you know, have been here in the United States. Did you ever think we were going to get one?
No, I didn't think it would be for another while, and it's really awesome to be able to coach my daughter here at home in Oregon. This is a blessing, true blessing.
A lot of U.S. titles for Vashti, and we saw that world championship in 2016. Is she ready to jump high this year?
Yeah, I believe she is. Watch these guys, watch our American guys, Darius and McEwen, and watch these guys do their thing, and then we'll find out what happens, because Javon looks good as well. So I think it's going to be good for the Americans.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the morning. Hannah, Jenny, back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Lovely to hear about some of the athletes coming in and soaking up the atmosphere. Perfect to watch your event in front of you, and it would have been devastating for the Cunninghams to watch Carbon go out on his 3rd attempt. But whilst they were talking, what a kind of response under pressure from Joel Clark-Kahn of Great Britain to clear 2 meters and 21 at the 3rd attempt. And Tiago Moura of Brazil, he managed to do that as well. We saw him take a great 5th place indoors, Tiago Moura. But a lot of that was on 3rd time clearances. And, doing that again here in the qualification, and Carbon there just accepting the commiserations from Hamish Kerr and Javon Harrison, his American teammate. Big disappointment there for Darius Carbon. What a shame. I hope he can get his head around this and enjoy the rest of the competition as a spectator, unfortunately.
Well, Group B, we are now going up to 2 meters 25. We can see that 14 competitors have got over that 221.
Over in Group A, the bar's also up to 2 meters and 25. Wu Sang-hak having a go, making that look really good. He's looked so good at every height. Mutaz Bashim looked good at 2 meters and 17. He then skipped 2 meters and 21, but Wu just right in his groove here in this Group A qualification. So that's off to Wu.
Hannah, he reminds me of one of those kind of wind-up toys. You kind of an unspring coil, you know, he just, absolutely unbelievable horizontal height that he manages to get. Cannot wait to see that bar raised, and certainly that final looks really exciting. So Louis Gash, here he goes, 225. It's not been easy for him to get there. Oh, sorry, actually, Diago Lovett from Canada it is. Forgive me for that one. Here he goes, 225, and again, makes that look easy, doesn't he? So we're now going from Group A to Group B. This is Hamish Kerr. He makes that look good, doesn't he? That was a good clearance for Hamish Kerr.
Dinergy went on Google quickly so I didn't make myself look foolish, but so he's called himself the Flying Kiwi, which is of course funny because kiwi birds don't fly. I thought that might be it, but I was like, I don't want to be one of those people that says something that is then wrong. But
Google it first, Hannah.
The only flying kiwi in the world, Hamish Kerr, but making light work of 2 meters and 25. Javon Harrison, he's just seen his teammate Darius Carbon go out at the previous height. Oh, Javon Harrison. He did touch that bar, but it will be a first-time clearance at 2 meters and 25. And what was that? Was that a calm down or a stay on?
I think it was a stay on. Okay, stay on. He had a little conversation with the bar, didn't he? He didn't want to be having a conversation with the bar at that bar height, but yeah, 225 first attempt, as you would expect for Harrison.
Donald Thomas. Jenny gave us the lowdown on his achievements. He's been around so long, and he's pretty consistent. First attempt at 2 meters and 25. That was a great attempt. I thought he might just sneak over it. Took 3 attempts at 2 meters and 21. And, Donald Thomas will go away and have another go at 2 meters and 25. But like you said, Jenny, talk about talent IDing in different sports and trying to bring them into track and field. We often have the other way round. We get some tremendous track and field athletes that almost get poached into different events, but great to see the opposite. Donald Thomas getting taken away from basketball and given to track and field. Our win for sure. Doroshchuk of Ukraine has looked great so far. 2 first-time clearances at 2 meters and 17, 2 meters and 21. Can he make it a third first-time clearance at 2 meters and 25? Just 21 years old, Doroshchuk. Gaining an experience, I feel, with every performance he does. This World Championship stage will be great for him as a developing athlete. He's going to have to get a bit more experience because he's going to have another go at 2 meters and 25.
Yeah, every athlete's journey is different. He's won medals at age group championships on the European scene. But I wonder what he thought when he was jumping next in the jumping order to Gianmarco Tamberi. What a great competitor to learn from. Not only what he can do in the event, but he really does take youngsters under his wing. He mentors them. I'm sure a lot of them are really excited to compete here with him. Asking the crowd to get behind him. He absolutely loves it. Such a showman. Here we go. 2 meters 25. Oh. I just had a sense as he was approaching that one. He just didn't quite seem to generate the speed that we can see him do sometimes. So he did have first time clearances at 2:17, 2:21. He won't want extra jumps in those legs, but as you did say, Hannah, their final's not till Monday. So he has got 3 days to recover, hasn't he? So 2:25, he'll have to have another go at that. So carrying on with this Group B, Akamatsu. 2 clearances so far, 2:17, 2:21. You can see him just going through his preparations in his head. He's not had much international experience. Competed solely in Japan this year. I'm sure he was really enthused to hear that news yesterday about Tokyo getting awarded the World Championships in 2025. Just see him going through some arm movements. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do when I approach the bar. Oh, and he had a really good arm swing all the way over that curve of the bar, but unfortunately for him, let's have another look at it. Just seemed to touch it there with his back. So his high point wasn't high enough on that occasion. So back to the high jump. Bosh him. Here we go. This is his second attempt. Oh. Well, we were expecting that. Second attempt of 2:25. And we have already said that he did decide to take part in that World Indoors. So on a training camp, and he was like, you know what, training's going pretty well, but he's certainly not come out outdoors in that sort of shape that we saw indoors. What a shame.
So Protsenko over in Group A, 2:25, making that look really easy. First time clearances, 2 meters 17, 2 meters 21, and 2 meters and 25 for Protsenko. Perhaps finding his best form we've seen in years this year. Fourth place from Rio. So Protsenko know what it takes to get a medal. Could he get involved in that final? They've got a little bit way to go before they get to the automatic qualifying height of 2 meters and 30. McEwen's done well over that this season, looking very comfortable at 2 meters and 25 there.
And Hannah, I'm really detecting the noise really building in this stadium now. There's a lot of spectators all around those high jump beds. We're seeing some really good success for the Americans in this event now. Shelby McEwen looks really good, doesn't he?
As nice jumping there off Shelby McEwen. He's kept the pressure off himself with those first time clearances, just slightly grazing the bar, but looking fine in the end. So Mutaz Barshim passed at 2 metres 21, can't blame him. His clearance at 2 metres and 17 looked amazing. So Mutaz Barshim just kept his powder dry, took his shoes off. We saw him having a stretch, having a drink. How's he gonna handle 2 metres and 25? Exactly the same, soaring over it. Defending champion Jenny Meadows, the super research coming into this, reminding us that he hadn't had many competitions before he won that World Championships in Doha. And he's been pretty light in his competitions since taking that gold medal in Tokyo. We didn't see him indoors, just 2 competitions outdoors, and not phenomenal. Getting beaten at his home Diamond League in Doha, following that up with just a 2 metres and 15 in Qatar. But Barshim looking good so far.
Here we go, Akamatsu. This is his second attempt at 2:25. And unfortunately for him, ended in failure, just like his first attempt. Great to see some wildlife here in the stadium. A couple of birds of prey. I wonder if they're part of pest control. I think they're probably quite smart. If you've got a couple of birds of prey, you maybe don't have to worry about some other wildlife you might not want in your stadium. But they've got almost the best seat in the house. I can see a few people at the top of that tower as well. 57-metre tower. They'll watch Donald Thomas just fail to get over 2 metres and 25 there. The Bahamian just agonising there. And that will be the end of his competition. I was so hoping we see Donald Thomas match his 2 metres and 25 season's best. But he won't. But that's one drama there. High calibre athlete out. Could we have another here? Gianmarco Tamburi with a third-time attempt at 2 metres and 25. This would be devastating for the Italian. One of the superstars of our sport. So much personality, so much talent. But if Gianmarco Tamburi can't navigate this 2 metres and 25, this will be it for his World Championship campaign. Oh, Tamburi showing he's the athlete he is, and everybody's heart was in their mouth. Jenny Meadows and myself just going, stay on, Gianmarco Tamburi, just glaring at that bar. Just a note to say, we passed Robbie Grabatz on our walk into the stadium, longtime friend and competitor of Gianmarco Tamburi. Robbie's here supporting the British team, Joel Clark-Kahn and Emily Borthwick. And I'm sure he'll be delighted to see Tamburi manage that. Can Akamatsu do the same? He's on his third and final attempt at 2 metres and 25. This 2 metres and 25 really sorting these competitors out. Lost Donald Thomas from this Group B. Tamburi saves himself with that third-time clearance. Can Japan's Akamatsu do the same? Took a great victory at the Seiko Golden Grand Prix back in May. But Akamatsu looking for a third and final clearance, and it's not to be for the Japanese athlete. What a shame. That will be the end of Hiroshi Akamatsu's high jump campaign here in Eugene. Oh, it's always so sad, isn't it, when athletes have put all that preparation into it. I'm still recovering, Hannah, from watching Tamburi, that attempt. But we've got Joel Clark-Kahn, who's also facing his last attempt. He got 2:21 on his third attempt. Can he hold it together physically and mentally to do the same on 2:25? Here goes. Oh. Well, unfortunately for Joel Clark-Kahn, his World Championship experience is also over. Well, these athletes who are exiting, who's pretty early on in their careers, they'll learn from this experience. It's so important just to be here, to feel this World Championship atmosphere. Thiago Moura, he is the next athlete to go. Again, trying to clear this 2:25 bar for the third time. He also lends his hands to triple jump and long jump, so very much the jump specialist, and he's asking the crowd, come on, get behind me. We've heard some really good applause down there. the lower tiers of the stadium. All these spectators come to watch this men's high jump. We're also getting some really good views of the men's hammer throw, Group B. Here's Moura then, from Brazil. Last attempt, 2:25. Oh, and he does do it! Oh, and he's loving that, isn't he?
Oh, look what that means to Tian. Just be one competitor shorter than 75 metres, but we'll compile all those competitors and update you on who will be in the men's hammer final shortly.
So 2 meters at 28, the bar is raised to in the men's high jump qualification rounds. This is Group B. Siobhan Harrison, he had a really close call on that 2:25, didn't he? Put his hands up, he had a word with the bar, but he has had 3 first-time clearances, 2:17, 2:21, 2:25. How much he would love a first-time clearance at 2 meters 28. Well, it was close, wasn't it, Hannah? He's got such an unusual run-up technique. I think he's an athlete who you call quite raw, and I think we've been saying that for a number of years. A lot of people have said maybe he should just concentrate on one of the jumps, but he thinks it really helps him, you know, just not focusing on one thing. He thinks it would just put too much stress, too much pressure if he was a specialist in one. And hey, with a 5th place and a 7th place at the Olympics, you know, no one can go against him. It seems to be working out pretty well for him at the moment.
Yeah, Harrison certainly has got the right to contend in both events if he fancies it. Doroshouk, we saw those shots of the Ukrainian team down there to support their 2 men in these high jump pools. Doroshouk there will be a first-time failure at 2:28. Took him 2 attempts to get over 2:25, so not unusual. But this 2:28 would be an equal personal best for Doroshouk, so he's just narrowing in on better than he's ever done in his life before. This man has gone well clear of 2 meters and 28 in his career history. He's got a best all the way at 2 meters and 39, but he had the whole stadium a little bit scared a few minutes ago. It took him 3 attempts to go over 2 meters and 25. This just the qualifying in the men's high jump. Gianmarco Tamberi nearly ended his campaign here just at the qualification stage. Tamberi here, first time attempt at 2 meters and 28. Wonder if he's been having a chat to his friend Mutes Barshim over in the other pool. Oh, Tamberi just slightly off his groove here in this qualifying. You'd expect an athlete of his calibre with his accolades to have no issues with these heights, but 2 meters and 28. It's given Gianmarco Tamberi a bit of a scare so far. A lot of athletes over 2 meters and 25. You've got to be looking at 2 meters and 28 clearance here if you want a shot at the final.
Yeah, I agree with that, Hannah. You said earlier, only 2 men in excess of 2 meters 30. Lots of men in the world this year, 2 meters 30. I've got a feeling that 2:28 might be enough to get through to that final, but let's see. Edgar Riviere there of Mexico. Set a national record, 2:31 last year. He's gone over 2:27 in 2022. So he's not cleared this bar height 2:28 this year. This would be a season's best, and this sort of bar height is getting up towards a lot of these men's personal bests now. So certainly the field will really be shortened after this 2:28. It may well be enough to make that final. Riviera, first time failure there. He'll have to go again, as will Tamberi.
Back in Group A, Woo Sang-hok. First time attempt at 2 meters and 28. And he makes that look easy work, miles over 2 meters and 28. Gotta say, Woo Sang-hok and Mutes Barshim have looked untroubled by any height. So Woo Sang-hok making light work of that. But just a word on Switzerland, Louis Gash. He couldn't get over 2 meters and 25, so we've lost the world indoor silver medalist already, opening the door to many of these men as they look towards the final. They've got a way to go before that. They've really got to try and get over this 2 metres and 28. What can the Canadian captain, Django Lovett, manage here? His co-captain, Gillian Weir. She's in the second pool of the women's high jump. Sure, she's watching on. Lovett making great work down here this morning. Django Lovett, first time clearance at 2 metres and 28.
Hannah, I know we can't take much when you watch those qualification rounds, but I've got to say, Woe looks good, doesn't he? Woe just looks so good. Barsham and Woe, sometimes you actually wish, sometimes you're feeling so good in qualification, you wish it was the final.
I know. Let's hope they can hold that form into the final, and let's hope these man can as well. Pavel Fidek leading the qualifiers. That is the full summary of qualifiers. So Daniel Hart got the win over Nowicki in their heat. But can we continue the decade of Polish dominance? Fidek looking for his 5th consecutive title. And Nowicki, the Olympic champion, I'm sure would love to spoil the party. As with the Americans, great to see Humberto Mansilla find something in the closing rounds of his Group B qualification to sneak into 11th place overall there. Alex Young of America making it 3 Canadians into the final, joining his compatriots Rudy Winkler and Daniel Hull.
So Shino it is from Japan. Oh, wow! What a clearance that was from Shino. 2:28, making that look really easy. Well, great that we've seen 3 competitors so far over that. He did have failures at 2:21 and 2:25. He had to go over both of those bar heights twice, but he made absolutely no mistake with that 2 meters 28. First time clearance.
Protsenko, he's only had 3 jumps. Had a pretty quiet competition. Can he make it the first time clearance over 2 meters and 28 as well? So 3 men already clear at 2 meters and 28. And Protsenko makes it a 4th. Lovely clearance from the Ukrainian athlete there. So Protsenko joins Woo Lovett and Shino at that 2 meters and 28. That's Group A. So nobody from Group B so far has managed to get themselves over 2 meters and 28. 4 from Group A. Can Marco Fascinotti make it? Another athlete over 2 meters and 28. So you're going to carry on that pattern of first failure, second clearance. Has he learned enough about what's going on down there in Hayward Field and how his legs are feeling here? Can he do a first time clearance at 2 meters and 28? Nope. Be another first time failure for Fascinotti. He's just limping off the bed there, Fascinotti. I wonder if that's something he's carried into the championships, or if that's a new problem. Maybe just nothing, but that was a significant wince there for Fascinotti as he exited the bed.
Yeah, it didn't look convincing there, did it? So here we go. This is Shelby McEwen, another athlete to have 3 first time clearances. He's looked really good, has Shelby McEwen. Winner here already twice this year. He won the Prefontaine Diamond League as well as the national championships here. Just seeing Gio Marco Tamburi throwing a load of water over his head. Looks like he's overheating a little bit there, trying to cool himself down. But here we go, Shelby McEwen. First time at 2:28. Can he make it a 4th first time clearance? Oh, not to be. So he'll have to come back for a second attempt. Hannah, sometimes you have a venue that just works for you. I wonder whether McEwen thinks, you know what, this is my venue, this is my arena. He's had a couple of wins already here this year.
And I think that's the first time I've seen McEwen look bad, if you like. I don't want to say bad, I don't want to say it's a negative term, but you know, when you're looking for that form book for as we look towards that final, you say, woo, love it, Barshim looking super good. Here's another look at Mutaz Barshim. This will be his first attempt at 2 meters and 28. And up until this point, I would have said Shelby McEwen was looking as good, but that was a bit of a kind of messy attempt at 2 meters and 28. Barshim, wow, yes! This is what we love about Mutaz Barshim when he's in shape. Just pings over that bar.
And he's really enjoying it, isn't it? He's actually turning to the crowd on both of his last attempts. He almost seems like he's like, wow, that was easy, guys. I'm enjoying this.
Just looks so relaxed, so cool. He's miles over that 2 meters and 28. Wonder if they will have to take the bar up to 2:30. Zayas here of Cuba having to go at 2 meters and 28. Oh, and he likes that. We've talked about the showmanship down there. Gianmarco Tamberi, perhaps the most natural showman out there that I knew of, but that was before we got a look at Zayas' dance moves. Olivier Zayas really enjoyed that. He took 5th place in Doha. And you talk about athletes being sort of relaxed and ready for a competition, and Zayas looks like he's really enjoying himself.
Not far off his personal best either.
So second attempt for Javon Harrison at 2 meters and 28. Just calming himself down. Decent competition so far. That first time clearance failure at 2 meters and 28. Just hangs in the air over that bar, and he manages it this time. I feel like these men have the same opinion as us, Jenny, that this 2 meters and 28 is going to be what it takes to make the final. That final not until Monday evening, but Javon Harrison, 2 meters and 28. I love the way he just hangs in the air. It's almost like a basketball player doing a slam dunk. You know, they get themselves up there and then they make the move. But Javon Harrison making 2:28 look pretty comfortable.
Yeah, such athleticism, hasn't he? As we're watching Darashuk there. Unfortunately, ended in failure for him at that 2:28. I think that's his second time failure. So again, he's living on borrowed time here. He's going to have to absolutely nail it. We're thinking 2:28 is enough to make that final. 2:30 automatic will guarantee you that. But looking at some of the failures as these athletes have gone through this competition, it could be that 2:28 is the decisive height that it's going to take to make that final. Tamberi then. Here he goes, second attempt at 2:28. It'll take him 3 attempts to get over the 2:25. Can make life a lot easier for himself if he clears this one. No. Oh, not to be. Hannah, we're going to have to watch him take a 3rd attempt again at another bar.
And his scorecards are not that good when you think about trying to combine the 2 pulls together, Tamberi. Yeah, it's under real pressure here to try and make the final. It's a nice